Now, this is where the 4 horsemen of eating issues come in. 4 things that are the main driving factor for us to create disordered eating and forms of escape through food. And they are: today's video isn't about correcting mistakes or saying what is wrong or looking at your flaws. You are not broken in any way or form. Instead, today's video is about embracing what makes us us, but also cultivating the awareness of the psychology that drives us sometimes to the wrong eating patterns, how to improve on it, how to become aware of them, and then to dust off some boxes in that attic of yours. And speaking of attic, that's what I want you to think about today. Think of your mind like an attic, and in that attic, we have a lot of boxes we've packed away. Now, a lot of those boxes has influence on how we live our life daily, how we see food, how we escape around food. And it's time to go a bit deeper into that attic. Open some of those boxes and start looking at the power some of that content and some of those boxes have over our life. Why? If we want to live healthy, stay healthy, a lot of times it's these underlying psychological factors that are driving our actions when it comes to food and using food as forms of escape. So let's start unpacking that mental attic of yours. And this is where the language of our body comes in. Our bodies communicate not through words, but through other signals: pain, inflammation, fatigue, yes, and our eating habits. A lot of times these signals highlight deeper psychological triggers and things we need to unpack. And a lot of times these manifest as excessive eating, excessive restriction, excessive exercise, escaping through substances, all these things. If you think disordered eating, binge eating, disordered eating in the sense of restricting ourselves, escaping through alcohol, escaping through binges, that is not the problem. It's the result of a trigger that leads us to that problem to engage in that activity. Now, this is where the 4 horsemen of eating issues come in. 4 things that are the main driving factor for us to create disordered eating and forms of escape through food. And they are: number 1, grief and loss. This could mean the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or even the loss of a job or an identity. Trauma also falls under this category, carrying a profound impact that can echo in our eating habits. Number 2, life changes. Significant transitions such as becoming a parent, changing jobs, moving houses, or undergoing a divorce can all redefine your identity and disrupt your regular patterns, including, yet again, how you eat. Number 3, relationship issues. Difficulties in relationships, whether with partners, family, friends, or colleagues, can create emotional turmoil that might be soothed or suppressed through food. And then comes the 4th one, intrapersonal deficits. Sometimes the challenge is within us, perhaps a difficulty in expressing emotions, feeling misunderstood, or an inability to forge meaningful connections. These internal conflicts can often manifest as disordered eating or obsessive exercise routines. This is where I want you to just pause a little bit and reflect. What was happening in your life when you first started realizing this shift in your eating patterns? What has changed since then? And what is still keeping you from getting to that point you want to be? Another small one here. A lot of times we are progressing, but because it's not this massive progressions, it's not this massive things we achieve, we discount it. On this journey of living healthy and becoming healthier, even the smallest steps need to be recognized. We need to celebrate the small victories because it's the accumulation of all these little small things over and over and over that gets us the results we want. It's not the big goals that get us there. It's the journey of these little small things over time that gets us there. So even though you might not be where you want to be right now, it's key to spot those small achievements and be proud of them because they will get you to the place you want to go. So today's action steps, what I want you to think about are the following. Acknowledge the complexity. Understand that issues with food often stem from deeper roots. Recognizing this isn't an admission of being broken. This is an acknowledgement of your humanity. Just because something's hard, you think you are failing, it does not mean you are broken. No. When we are becoming aware of these kinds of stuff, it actually shows, you know what? We are strong enough to address them. We are strong enough to face them. This whole thing that I'm broken if I have emotions and I've got triggers, and you know what, I'm not feeling myself, I'm not happy. It's not because you are broken. It's a signal that shows we need to change. The next action step, inspect the mental attic. Consider what unopened boxes might still be lurking. Think about ways to address these hidden issues. The next one, consider the 4 horsemen. Reflect on whether grief, life changes, relationship issues, or personal deficits might be influencing your behaviors. And the last step for today, look beyond. Your eating habits might be a surface symptom of deeper challenges. Keep an eye out for other issues that might be tagging along, like stress, or work, or another form of addictions. Remember, on this journey, you are not alone. You are not weak for looking for help. You are not weak for trying to become a better version of yourself. This is where we all need to be a bit more compassionate, become a bit more aware. Every person goes through hardship. Life isn't always easy. And thinking you are broken just because you can't succeed yet? No, you are chasing too large goals. Spot those small victories. Unless you start looking at those mental boxes, at boxes that are stuck in your attic, they do have power over you because they have triggers that has created the coping mechanisms, and those little scripts in our head are running over and over and over. By not addressing them isn't improving, you're just hiding from them. That's why. Think about these 4 horsemen. Which one of those has the most baggage stuck in that little attic of yours? And slowly become aware of them and then start facing them head on. Because most of the time, a lot of these issues is what leads us to our form of disordered eating. If you found value in this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up or a subscribe, or send this to a friend that you know might benefit from it. And as always, aim for 1% better today than you were yesterday.